Bible told me to stay busy.
I've been watching. I've been seeing what you've been doing.
Yeah, we try to cover all the subjects that they talk about. All right, let me get that chat pulled up and we can rock and roll, man. We got people up in this joint. Hey, get them on, man. We lit. We live. We in the building. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe button. We got the legendary Rod Haynes on with us, man. About to take over the game. Yeah, we got him. I see Black Magic going live too right now. Oh yeah. Hey, so where you want to start at, Rod? Because we rolling there. You want to give them a couple more minutes? We got about 67 people in here so far, but they finna
give them a couple more minutes, Elder. But while we waiting, you know, we can go over like a little introduction on what we talking about.
Okay.
A lot of us became familiar with the Yakub doctrine through the Nation of Islam, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Elijah said he learned from Master Fard Muhammad that there was a big head scientist playing with magnets as a youth and found that opposites attract.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Remember the part about opposites attract because it's going to come back up toward the end of the description.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, Yakub decided that he would make inferior people to rule over his kindred for 6,000 years. And Elijah said that the time we in now is the time of the end of the reign and the rule of Yakub's grafted double. All right, now, the first thing we have to do is trace the word Yakub. Yakub is a Hebrew word. It's actually pronounced correctly in Hebrew as Yakub.
Yeah.
It's spelled in Hebrew language using the English script and what we call a transliteration. You've seen Pops do that 1,000 times in his writings. He'll give you the script, then he give you the word for word transliteration, and then he give you the word for word translation, and then he give you the intent behind the language in its original language that would be different from the intentions of the topic in modern day English. So then he would put a bunch of little things in brackets throughout the sentence of his translation, right? Because these are the things he had to add in order for the Hebrew language to be coherent to an English-speaking person in the translation, right? So Yakub, where is the name Yakub, biblically speaking? The name Yakub, biblically speaking, is translated into English as Jacob, right? So what did Jacob do? What is the significance of Jacob?
Yeah.
Right.
You asking me, or you?
This is what you call rhetorical questions, because most of us know the answers to them already. But I'm gonna still, when I get done, I'm gonna go back over what he did. All right. First of all, you have to understand Jacob was a fraternal twin to a brother named Esau, or Edom, is what they called it. Now, the Hebrew Israelites tend to think that the pale-skinned Europeans are Edomites. That's not possible. If you go back to the story of and Eve, Adam's name is also Edom in Hebrew, right? So now the story is being broke up to confuse the reader. So Adam's twin brother is Jacob. And Adam had 2 sons, so they say, right? And he had Cain and Abel, right? Now, they offered up offerings to the elders, or they say they offered up the offerings to the heavens in the book. And that Abel's offering, Habil, was good, and they accepted it, but he was a farmer of wheats and grains. But Cain was a farmer of cattle and goats. Livestock is what it's actually called. And so he made an offering, but they said the offering was no good. So in a fit of jealousy, Cain slew Abel. Ain't that what the story say? All right, now where do we hear that story in the historical context anywhere else before?
In ancient Kemet, where Osiris got killed by his brother.
Osiris and Set. All right, now, Set, what is a Set? It's a pair, ain't
it? That's right. Go ahead.
Right. So if Osiris is the first, Set is the second. So Set became jealous of Osiris. Do you remember what he was jealous about?
It's a number of things that I can think of and come up with, but I think it was because of how he ruled, like just overall how he ruled. But like it's a lot of little things involved with why he killed them.
You got to go back to the story of Enki.
Teaching the humans.
Why was Enlil jealous of Enki? It's the same reason.
Because the rulership,
right.
like he got placed in charge.
Right. And who was Enki married to?
Enki was married to Ninti. He was married to Damkina. He was married to he had several wives, but the ones that I can think of.
Now, one of his wives, Mother Ninti, held the title of Ainana. Right? Ainana is a secret word in the Anunnaki pantheon. Ainana is the heir to the earth rights. The name is the Egyptian eye of Horus. And Nana is 9.
Okay.
So he's looking at the 9 when he sees Mother Ninti. Now, Mother Ninti have the good graces of somebody that the Anunnaki refer to in the Hebrew tongue as El, Elion, El. And who do we say that is?
Elion, El, we say that's Anu.
That's Anu himself. Right? Now, we already started with Elijah Muhammad, and we had Enki and Enlil and the Anunnaki.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me get a drink.
Get you a drink of water. Let me give me a drink.
Okay, now, pause for a minute. In The Sons of Canaan by Malachi York. Remember that? He mentioned the Canaanite, who was the son of Ham, who is consistent through the Levitical text to be inflicted with something called leprosy. The clean leper is not the same as what they call the dirty leper or the unclean leper.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So the clean leper, he only have a loss of pigmentation of the skin, and his hair turns a yellowish white. That's what they say in Leviticus.
Mm-hmm.
When they tell you the description of them with the blonde hair and milky colored skin.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But it's something about this group. They got hair texture the same as Ham.
Mm.
But who is Ham and what land did he settle? Remember, Bible tell us the Ham settled the land that we call today the Ethiopia into the Sudan,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the Sethians, they settled something called North Africa,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
then those from Abraham came from Ur of the Chaldees.
Mm-hmm.
Pause right there. Ur means fire. And Chaldees mean those wicked of the fire.
Mm-hmm.
They commonly translate Chaldean into English if you can find somebody willing to translate it as demon people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the city of Ur, remember Baba taught us about Gehenna.
Mm-hmm.
Gehenna was a giant hole in the ground that was stoked with coals smothered in sulfur to intensify the burn.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you go to Zechariah Extension, when he's telling you about the Anunnaki disposal of the Lulu Amalu, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said they would walk over the cliff into a flaming ember as if they was in a trance when it was time to dispose of them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this brings us to the question of cremation. Why was they burning them in the trash dump where they put waste?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Okay, now the biblical description that tells you about Gehenna say that in Gehenna there was weeping and gnashing of teeth. What you gonna do if you catch on fire?
Yeah, right.
You're gonna be
Drop,
howling and
stop, drop,
screaming,
and
right?
roll. Stop, drop, and roll. Go ahead.
You ain't nowhere to roll. You on top of the coals in a hole.
Yeah, right. Go ahead.
Okay. Enter Dante's Inferno.
Uh-huh.
And Dante's Inferno gives you the modern day understanding and concept of hell.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Middle Eastern, all the way into European concept of hell and death.
Mm-hmm.
Has
Mm-hmm.
nothing to do with the people of the Americas concept, and it has nothing to do with the people of Africa's concept, or the people of India's concept, or the people of China's concept. It's concentrated. Now, where does the ziggurat that Pops told us they landed when they came, it was the launch pad. Remember where it was at?
Babylon, well, I guess it'll be Iraq.
It was in the, it was in the city of, it was the ziggurat in Babel that the Earthlings was building for a launch pad to go check on these motherfuckers on that ship that ain't getting right, coming down here with this bullshit. Fuck that motherfucking team. We can do our own shit. Right? So they said the Earthlings is starting to organize, and they building what is saying there? A scaffold to heaven. Let us now go down, strike them, divide up the languages one from another, right? Okay, and then when they divide up the languages, they scatter the people in all directions. That's called divide and conquer. If you take one group of people and you teach them a different language and a different culture, It automatically separate them from understanding the other people and the other cultures.
Mm-hmm.
There was a problem they didn't contend with, is that the earth, based on geography, will organize the DNA to revert back to the culture of the land. If you vibrate on the frequency, you can tune in to the earth, and the earth will tie you to the land at the place of what they call nativity.
Mm-hmm.
Where else do you hear that word? You hear that word at the birth of the Christ in the Bible, right? They call it the nativity scene, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then where else do you find the word nativity?
Nativity.
It's in immigration and naturalization laws.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? So what are they telling us in this secret code? What they telling us is that the sacrificial child is the child born a native.
Hmm.
So they're going to sacrifice the native, original man, Adama, Edomite, the one from the earth, the clay, the ruddy red dirt. And they're going to undermine him. Yakub means to what? Supplant.
Mm-hmm.
And supplant mean what? Undermine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, so who's behind the undermining? Jacob, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because Yakub grafted what? The devil.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like pulling up the etymology of the word devil?
Let's pull it up.
This is important because people believe the devil means a spooky ghost with pitchfork and horns. But if you do the etymology on the word, you get the understanding of what you're dealing with. Because the word devil in the end only means your adversary. E-T-Y, E-T-Y etymology, E-T-Y.
Oh, E.T. Okay, hold up. Like that.
Right. Etymology of the word devil. You could have just put devil.
I get it. Old English, Germany, late Latin from Greek.
You see where it say
Diablos.
Greek is diablos and
Yeah,
accuser,
Diablos.
a slanderer, right?
Yeah.
From diabolin to slander. Now go where it say more definitions. Now scroll down because we finna get into the word. We finna get deep into this devil shit. Right here. Devil, third person, devil's past tense, devil's past participle, devil, gerund or present particle, deviling, past tense, devil, past participle, divide. Okay, so now it's a act as a juror assistant for a lawyer or a professional, right? North America means to harass or worry. Let's go down a little further. Let's see if we can get some more information on the word devil. Origin. Old English, diofol, related to the Dutch, duivel, and German, tufel, via late Latin from Greek, diabolos, accuser, slanderer, used in the Septuagint to translate the Hebrew Satan. Satan from diabolin to slander, from dia, cross, balin to throw across. So in the book, the accuser is the false accuser, is the one we call the devil.
Mm-hmm.
See if we get any more etymology to the word.
Okay, all right. Let's see here.
A devil is subordinate evil spirit afflicting humans. Also in Christian theology, the devil, a power. Now, this is a Christianized definition, because if you notice, it's always saying in the Christian theology, right? Old English, the fall, the devil, supporting the evil spirit, reflecting humans. Also, in Christian theology, the devil, a powerful spirit or evil, otherwise known as Satan, from late Latin diablos, also the source of Italian diavolo, French diable, and Spanish diablo. German Teufel is Old High German Teufel, from Latin via Gothic diabolos, right? So now, here it is that a devil is an attorney.
Damn, go ahead.
And the attorney in this case is the one making the accusation. Who would that be? So now we ended up tracing Yakub, that drafted devil, led us to the courtroom.
Go ahead. Oh, you going somewhere with this? Go ahead.
In the courtroom, you got an attorney that's the accuser. What do they call him? You know, you can go back to the screen.
Him the district attorney, right?
The district attorney, the prosecutor, the state litigator, etc.
The plaintiff.
Right? You can pull us back up, Elder.
Okay,
we got a good understanding of the word devil. We should by now. We talking about the lawyers.
Yeah, you better go in. Go ahead.
Okay, now, where did they give us an opportunity to discover that an attorney is a devil?
They never told us that. Well, I ain't never heard it till now.
You ever heard of Devil's Advocate with Keanu Reeves?
Yeah, I think I seen that movie.
Who was he working for?
He was working for the damn devil.
The devil.
Yeah.
Who was the attorney that was running a law firm.
Oh yeah, now I'm starting to figure. Yeah, come on with it. Let me see what you got.
Okay, so the young attorney with a conscience and a barometer for right don't want to participate or help the devil do his devilishment in the courthouse. So they end up having a falling out, and Keanu Reeves end up in a conflict with the devil, right? Then what happened? Keanu Reeves went on to become Constantine. Who was Constantine? You know who Constantine was?
You said who was Constantine?
Yeah.
Like in the movie, or in like dealing with like the rewriting.
What's the first when you hear Constantine? What's the first thing come to your mind?
Constantine 325 AD.
Nicene Council.
Yeah.
Right. So he's telling you that the devil sent him to advocate in Nicaea under Constantine. Right? But remember the movie he did when the robot was in Central Park in New York, and he had all these superpowers and he was an alien? I think it was a remake of an old 1950s movie called I think it's called When the Earth Stood Still or some shit.
Oh yeah, I seen that movie, When the Earth Stood Still. I'm trying to think about
they had that big robot that was protecting the dude that looked like the human.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I seen that movie 2 or 3 times.
Look in the comments. Somebody gonna tell you what the name of the movie is, but we're gonna go on while you look at the comments.
Yeah, somebody drop that movie in the comments. And if you want to show us some love, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. And we posted the brother Rod Haynes Cash App in the link if you want to show him some love. We got that in the links. So we're gonna keep rolling. We just wanted to make them announcements. Go ahead, brother Rod.
Okay, now I want to show you something. You see this book right here?
Yeah. Oh, I got that book. Oh yeah, hold on. I got that book. Damn. Phone fell and shit.
Yeah, it's the reason why I'm showing you this book. Right. Okay, that's Michael Cremo.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yo yelled on it. Better believe it.
Okay, so now he have anomalies in the historical record
Mm-hmm.
that modern science don't want him to talk about in that book.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One of the things he talk about in that book is how long humans have been operating with a high level of intelligence on the earth. Everything from the Vimanas to 5 million year old boot prints in the soil.
Mm-hmm.
It's in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's coming from a Ayurvedic timeline to tell us that these are cycles of life that we go through on Earth,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, we go to the Circle 7 of Noble Drew Ali. It's a derivative primarily of two books. Do you remember what two books they were?
No.
One was called The Aquarian Gospel of Jesus Christ
Yeah,
by
I got that
Levi
book too.
Dowling. And the other one was called Unto Thee I Grant, The Economy of Life.
Yeah, I don't got that
right?
one.
Okay, now, when you get the book from the Rosicrucians, like I did, when you look in the inside cover, you see all of these ancient scrolls,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And these ancient scrolls are historical records of the earth,
Mm-hmm.
right? Let's see if we can pull that book cover up so they can see it.
What's the name of it?
Damn, I forgot the name. I just said the name of it, didn't I?
Yep. It's the one after the Aquarian Gospel.
Oh, it's Unto Thee I Grant, The Economy of Life.
Hey, spell that first part.
UNTO.
Say that.
UNTO space THEE
TH.
TH. I grant.
This book right here.
Yep. That's the book.
Oh yeah, I gotta get this. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So now that's on your radar.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want you to pull up another book that I'm finna use to cross-reference this book. Right? I'm reading the pictures in this book, Unto Thee I Grant.
Uh-huh.
Pull up Rampa T. Labsang, RAMPA T period space LOB. There you go. It popped up. LOB. There you go. The name of the book is called The Cave of the Ancients.
You see it?
Not yet, but that's him, but keep scrolling. We're
Okay,
looking for what it's called, The Cave of the Ancients.
Cave of the Ancients. Right here.
All right, now
Oh, shit, I gotta get this.
in this book, he talks about going into the caves of Tibet, into a secret chamber that had a living computer in the room, in the chamber, that had was programmed to tell him who he was by the resonance of his DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And the people that came up on the screen explained the technology and how it works. Now, why am I bringing up Ayurvedic school of thought? Because they have ancient scrolls that predate modern historical record books that has a longer history of the world than what we have available to us from modern scholastics, because they use education as a weapon against us.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now, one more reference just to add some flavor to it. Pull
Okay.
up a series. It's called Masters of the Far East. They
One,
are
two, three.
giving secrets in this book right here. That's the twine to tie all this shit together.
I gotta get this joint.
So this is a collection of about 5 or 6 books. Now, from there, we want to know about genetics, and we want to know about reproduction, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these are called the sutras, SUTRAs, in India.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you go back to regular screen now.
Okay, all right. Oh,
Okay, so the
yeah.
one they call the great text is called Mahabharata. And it's broke up into multiple different sections. The epic work of the Bhagavad Gita is within the Mahabharata.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, over there, they got something, scrolls for government, because in the secret caves of Tibet, this is why China was trying to kill off all of the Tibetan priests.
Mm.
They are the keepers of certain sacred records that they ain't gonna never let these motherfuckers know where they at. So they trying to torture them out of the information, because every time they go in the Himalayan mountains and send somebody to get these records, they don't come back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they keep telling them that you don't really want to know where they at because you ain't gonna come back.
Mm-hmm.
But they inside of the caves, and the security of the caves, if a person go in there that haven't been trained to attune their frequency, what end up happening is they suffocate their mitochondria, and it basically shorts them out.
Mm.
So that's why they can't, that's why they don't never come back, because they're not properly trained on the energy balancing that's required in order to enter into the sacred places.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's sacred places all over the world. Some
Yep.
of them you can enter, but you don't think nothing happened, but you won't never know why you can't get your life right. You fucked your whole energy field up. You getting a whole bunch of karma for a whole bunch of motherfuckers that you didn't have nothing to do with. All right, now, so the Yakub story traces biblically to Jacob, and this is confirmed by anybody in the nation. Now, they are a group of people known as Jacobins, and they also call them Yakubins.
Mm.
Yakub writing the name.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? In early Roman history, they came as a group called Etruscans, right? And these are the ones who Constantine set as the devil's advocate. It's just judicials. When you ask Africans about the Osiris story from the tribal communities, they call it the holy drama. Right? And they said that it was a court case. Right? So somewhere around the time of the first recorded dynasty, some people came here from Nibiru to expedite the mining of the gold. We are familiar with that as Nuwapians, right? We know they came for the gold. Now, We know of the scientists that accompanied them. We know about Ninursin. We know about Ereshkigal and Nergal, right? We know that Enki was a geneticist, and Mother Ninti was also what you call the lead nurse or the great doula, right? This we already know from our Nuwapian research. When you go into India, there was a scroll that gave them the description of the genome, but it was coded. And they pass it off as a sex manual and call it the Kama Sutra.
Oh yeah, it's right. Go ahead.
Now we ain't gonna pull that up because it's gonna show probably some butt naked people on the cover. But in the Kama Sutra, the energy harness of each one of the sex positions tells you what DNA codon is being activated. They use the lewd act of sex to make people absorb the study in the culture that they was in. But it's coded because only the people from the culture know that the code exists. So you come along and you discover that it's coded and that the code is the codon. You see that it's a DNA thing. How do we know it? Because of what they call the nergus, right? So we talking about the caduceus in Greece, the double serpent climbing the sword, right? With the feathers at the top, the symbol of Hermes himself, right? The winged guy who was the messenger of the gods. And he always done things expeditiously, very fast. So we know him today in modern animated series as Flash. But before he was Flash, he was called Mercury, right? And so he carries the medical symbol for the Modern American Medical Association. Ain't that odd?
Yeah, it's hard.
If the devil is an attorney, you didn't know doctors were attorneys either, did
you? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
The doctor's job is not about health. They are legally responsible to maintain Lulu Amalu and keep them in a working fashion for a minimum of 60 years. They're not allowed to have the technology that can turn that 60 into 250 easy. So where do we find geneticists that can tell us the leads to finding this longer life process? I want you to pull up Cynthia Kenyon. I'm gonna spell the name for you when you get to the screen.
Cynthia Kenyon. So hold up.
We finna get educated today.
All right, you already got me some Jews on me, man.
CYN THI.
CIN.
TYN.
Oh, TYN.
THIA. KE. No. IA new word. IA then new word. Not AI. IA. Well, you can leave it at that. IAKENYON.
Okay.
All right. Go to where it say videos. And we're not gonna play this video, but I'm going to show them where to look.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it. What you got?
Okay, now what she's telling us about in these videos, you can just scroll down just so they could get a good look at who I'm talking about.
Genetic control.
She is a gerontologist right, out of UCLA Berkeley, who discovered something called a human aging hormone and a receptor blocker. Now, go back to the Bible for a minute. If you think they're not doing genetics, she's telling you what she discovered that's related to the aging process that makes the cells break down, right? If you scroll, you go right there where it say key moments, and you go right to see where it say 10 key moments in the middle.
Yeah.
And then right over that, nope, it's not that one. No, you passed it. It's up. It's up, son. The video I was looking for is up, son.
Right there.
But anyway, see the DAF2 hormone receptor?
Yeah.
That's it. Click that. I don't know if it's gonna let you play the sound.
No, they won't do the sound. But they can see what they can see the video, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so here she's telling you how it works. See where it say hormone receptors are similar to human hormone receptors, receptor for insulin and IGF-1? Right. So some of these hormones, she had to rename them or name them because they didn't know they existed.
Damn.
All right, now, her work is to find longevity. Now go to the search bar and look up, I don't know if it's going to tell you about the secret society, but it's called the Lazarus Group. Lazarus like Lazarus in the Bible. Go to the all so we can see what they talk, if it's the right one.
They Chinese niggas?
So the Lazarus Group, he might be part of it because they got people from all over the world involved in the Lazarus Group, but they all of them old motherfuckers like Henry Kissinger, the Rockefeller brothers, all the motherfuckers is part of the Lazarus Group.
Yeah.
It's a secret society. I think they talk about it in the X-Files and they talk about it in another TV show, but their quest is to find, it's a horror movie that talk about it too, but their quest is to find a way to eternal life. Right? So the Lazarus Group was responsible for a lot of the resurgence of the old technology that Hitler recovered and learning that they had age reversing technology. All right, now we're talking genetics, we're talking Yakub's grafted double. I need you to pull up chromosome sheath. Because for you to understand what I'm about to tell you next, you have to have a visual.
Chromosome what?
SHEATH.
It's SH.
Okay, put this in there. Put TEL. Erase that.
Chromosome.
Yeah, erase that. TEL MERE. All right, now we're talking. You see that red piece on the end of the chromosome, right?
Uh-huh.
That's called a telomere. as you get older, that gets smaller. And as that gets smaller, it's because you age because of that. Now, and remember in the Bible, it's saying man shall not, the Spirit of God shall not always dwell with man, for his years shall be 120.
Yeah.
When you born, you see the third line up. You got a cursor you can put on this to show what I'm talking about.
I don't got a cursor on this one, but I got it blew up for you if you can.
Okay, so now you see. Okay, now look. You see where it's red?
Yeah.
It's a line over that. That's the first line.
Yeah.
Then it's the second line, and then the third line.
Yeah.
When you born, you approximately, that telomere is approximately to the third line.
Mm-hmm.
By the time you are about 60, it's right there.
Okay.
In order to take an eternal being and limit their life, altering the genetics, you have to clip the telomere. And once you did it, it used to cover the entire chromosome. But now it doesn't. This is when they stole our eternal life. Right here is how they did it.
Man. Go ahead.
Okay, now, zoom back. Okay, so now they made us be where our lifespan is roughly 120 years, and that's determined by that part of the telomere. That determines our aging cycles. In order for that to work, the body had to create a receptor in order to have a chemical tell the body how old it is. This is done through a series of hormones called human growth hormones, HGH. Pull HGH up so the people can see I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Because if they don't know, I know what I'm talking about
right
now.
HGH.
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 Yeah.